Hello, everyone. So this month, I wanted to put out a video newsletter instead of a written one because just felt like there's a lot that I wanted to say, and this would be more personable. Our family really appreciates the support that we've received from all of you guys um, over the past year and even to now, and it's been amazing to see how God has used that and our ministry, and we're excited to continue doing ministry. God has laid it on our hearts to continue being missionaries despite any setbacks we have over the course of this next year. So, w- with that said, we're going to be, um, we want to provide rest and renewal to missionaries, to help missionaries feel rested when we are there and blessed, and to know that they're not alone because it's hard to feel alone. And we want to, every place we go, for that place to feel like a weight has been lifted when we leave, and to know that we've made real connections with that place and made a real difference in the lives of individuals for Christ. In that said, we're over the course of this next year, we're going to be visiting different YWAM bases in order to help do that, offer rest to the missionaries that are there, and help renew systems that they might not necessarily have the personnel to help renew things. So, just to put it in context, the base we've been at for the last few months here in Chico has, uh, before the pandemic, had I want to say over 100, maybe 125 staff living on base. And now, after the pandemic, that number is down to 25. That means 100 people have left, and they're still trying to operate. Of course, that means less ministries happening. It's like things are falling apart. There's one staff where there used to be 10 in different areas. And so when we stepped in, it's like, help give people a break that didn't have it for so long. I I can think of quite a few examples, but there's this one couple on base. They lead one of the missionary training schools that happens on a yearly basis, and they the husband, he helps with the maintenance here on base and helps run the hydro plant, and that hydro plant produces um, all the electricity for the needs for the entire base for the entire year. So it's about $10,000 a month in electricity being produced from the water turbine. So that's like a huge blessing for the space, right? But in order for him to take a vacation, someone else needs to be here that knows how to do that. So me stepping in, I came here and I learned how to use that, learned how to operate that, so that he could take a vacation with his grandkids and his wife. So things like that. So he can take a vacation, and another time it was so that he could go on a staff retreat and continue to learn how to be a better missionary, to train missionaries, Um, and that's, I think, really cool to be a part of. Um, but and then beyond there, I've been so while here, I've been helping with some maintenance stuff, but then also mainly in the office with their technology needs. So the the way that they process applications and forms here on base has historically been uh, quite expensive, over $200 a month, um, in order to process applications. But then I've changed that system so it's now $20 a month. So that was a large project that I was part of. And then removing inefficiencies so that the team of people that help process the applications, so that they have less manual work to do when they are interviewing people. So I've been helping with lots of projects like that that save costs and make people's lives easier, and updating the website and marketing materials and helping produce videos here on base to help recruit more people to come be missionaries and fill that gap. So it's been really exciting to see how God has used that. Since we got here, there was originally no social media team for the base. And nobody on base who knew how to uh, update websites or use Salesforce at a deeper level, which is their CRM, customer relationship management software. But now there's someone on base who knows how to do websites. And even after I leave, there's someone that I've trained to do it a little bit more. And um, also, we've learned how to use Salesforce together, and um, we built a social media team here on base, and now instead of there being 0 people doing social media, there's now a team of 6 people doing social media on base. So that's been an exciting development to see. Now I'm not even a part of it, and it's like continuing to expand, and they're making several videos a week now, and that's pretty cool. So, and then beyond that, I've also been participating in um, like outreaches to the college and to different ministries around this area. And um, um, yeah, and then just today I was digging a ditch, and uh, we rented a ditch witch, and I'm running this ditch witch. It's basically a chainsaw that's the size of a couch, just standing behind it, cutting into the ground. Uh, Cut a couple pipes and fixed a couple pipes, but just running that thing all day. And I managed a team of about a dozen teenagers today that were doing missions work, and they're all from Canada. They drove from Canada down to Mexico to work with a connected ministry down there. And then they drove back up, and on their way to Canada, they decided to stop here for a few days to help bless the base. So, working with them a little bit too. So that's all been very exciting for me. And then what else has been going on? The Faith Forum podcast, we've done 16 episodes so far, and took a short break. I have later this week, I'm going on another podcast to be interviewed about what that process has been like. So maybe you'll guys see something about that. And then, but yeah, so that's what it's been like here. 125 people down to just 25 people in the last few years. So being able to step into that gap and help bring up people's abilities and give them breaks and just bridge those gaps, that's been really meaningful to us, and I think to people on base. And we want to do the same thing for other bases as well. So we're going to be, over the course of the next several months, going to Colorado. There's a few bases there that we'll be visiting. And then we'll be going up to Montana, and then Idaho, and then back to California for the rest of the year. Um, One of the things that is exciting to announce is that Kessa and we're having another baby. So we don't know if it's a boy or girl yet, but that'll be this fall in November. We're really excited about that. And so when it does get here, we'll probably be here in Chico or near here. That's where insurance is. So we'll see. But there's a few bases here in California that we're hoping to visit as well. But we're planning on finishing out the year back here in Chico. But first, going around, making a loop through Colorado and Montana and Idaho, then back here. And let's see, what else to tell you guys. Um, we have been learning the last few months to take a step back and from like overworking and to trust in God more rather than our own abilities. I've been studying pastoral counseling, and our family has been learning to pray more with a focus on the Lord's Prayer. We've been praying that with the kids every evening, and I've been trying to pray it every morning. It's gotten to the point now that Abraham he won't repeat the words back yet, but if we do the prayer, then and I forget a word, like I usually forget the trespass against us line, Abraham will now say, Dad, you forgot the trespass against us, which is really cute in his little kid voice, you know. Um, yeah, it's been uh, very interesting to see how God has changed our hearts for ministry, even in just the past few months, from feeling overwhelmed and unsupported and stressed to feeling like there is nothing that we can't do. Uh, we we feel closer to a lot of our supporters now than we did back in New York. Um, while here we had um, several of our supporters come to the base to come visit us, and that was a huge blessing to just be like, this is what we're doing, and to be connected in that way, and to see family and friends and all of that. And we went to one of our supporting churches a couple weeks ago and got to share there and meet some new people, so that was cool. And we'll be back in Fresno in a couple weeks, and maybe up in Washington and Oregon um, later this year, probably towards the end of summer. We'll see how that lines up. It depends on different bases and their needs and um, all of that. So that's the gist of what's going on in our lives. The kids are continuing to learn their alphabet. They pretty much know A to Z now, can recite it, and they can recognize a lot of letters on pages. And they even know a lot of the sounds. So that's pretty impressive, I thought. There's like a few words even that Abraham can just like recognize. He has a really good memory. It's kind of surprising. And it's been interesting how I don't know. We just feel really supported. Uh, Helena has been like when we were in New York. If you went into a restaurant, you'd see more dogs than kids. Uh, like if you went into a coffee shop, more dogs than kids, and it'd be completely full. And the kids would like hug your leg because they're so uncomfortable. And then here, like uh, like at least on base, they know everyone, so they'll like run up to people and be like with arms up because they want to be picked up because they know the people and they're like really close to them. That's pretty cool. And our neighbor has a teenager that can babysit our kids at the moment, and so that's been fun. And Kessa, one of her big prayer requests. Well, so we had a lot of really big prayer requests going into this year. One of them was that God would um, give Kessa friends, and since getting here, she's gotten connected with other mothers that are her age with kids, our kids' age, and that's really different from our experience in other places. So that's been a huge blessing, and our kids have had friends, and I've had friends, and uh, that's been a blessing. And um, yeah, um, other updates for Kessa is she's been reading a book called Mom Moments by Sally Clarkson, and she's been absolutely loving that. So if you need a mom book to read, that would be the one. But yeah, that's kind of where we are with life. We're going to be traveling around, and then we'll be back in California having another baby. We've been trying to stay in touch. It's been challenging to try to write a newsletter because I don't want to sound like we're flip flopping with what we're doing for ministry, but we're very much trying to lean on God with what we're doing, and we want to support missionaries and follow God's will. And so that's what we're doing, providing rest and renewal to missionaries for the rest of this year. And so please keep us in your prayers as we're traveling and um, continuing to meet new people and trying to make an impact for the kingdom and uh, stay sane in the process. Um, your guys' prayers and support mean the world to us. Yeah, and if you ever just what are they up to? Call us. We're always here, and I'll always just drop what I'm doing and answer the phone to talk to anyone who has questions about our ministry, because it's important to us that you know that we're here for you. We're always available to talk and for prayer, whatever you need. We're here for you guys too, okay? So that's it. Let me know if you have any questions, okay? Thanks.